Thank you so much for joining us today for MAIA's Edge webinar. We're very excited to have you with us. Now, I'd like to introduce Mike Metzger, our presenter for today. Mr. Metzger serves as one of MAIA's lead consultants. He's a successful martial arts businessman and owns multiple school locations throughout the United States. After Mr. Metzger's presentation, we'll be answering questions we received during the webinar. If you'd like to submit a question, please do so in the question box. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Metzger.
Thank you for having me, and welcome everybody to the webinar. I'm happy that you're investing some of your time for your business, and hopefully this is something that I believe will help any business, martial arts school business, grow, not just with the quality of what you do, but also the profitability in your school. Before we get started, I just want to tell you how this came about. Myself and Frank Silverman, who's the executive director of MAIA, we own 9 schools in Central Florida. And as we were growing and expanding and getting more and more schools, we were starting to see how difficult it was to keep our finger on top of each school. As we expanded, it got a little bit more difficult to keep the quality high and to attain the same profitability as if we were running one school. So we came up with this idea to develop this website that basically all of our staff members in all of our schools would be able to have our ideas and all of the management tools and everything that they need to run their school successfully right at their fingertips. And MAIA now is offering this to schools all over the world to do the same thing for them, because once you find the formula for success, you can duplicate it over and over and over. So we're sharing that with you to hopefully make our business and our profession in the martial arts more professional and get more people training in the martial arts. We don't have any secrets in our business. So we share all of our knowledge and all of our success with anybody who's looking for it, because again, it's not about being afraid of our competition, it's about making sure that everybody raises the bar. So let me tell you a little bit about what Edge is. First, it's an online management system. Again, a system that at your fingertips, you're going to have access to everything that you need to make your school more profitable. It was developed and it is used by Championship Martial Arts, which is our chain of schools. And again, what you guys would have access to is the same thing that our team and our staff members have access to make sure their schools are successful. Also, it's updated with fresh content daily. So if you go on the site today and then you go on 2 days from now, everything is archived. It's all there, but we're constantly putting up new information constantly on the site with new ideas, new videos, new tutorials, new flyers, everything. So it's always being updated. It's a simple and powerful tool for any school. It doesn't matter what style you teach. If you teach Kung Fu, MMA, karate, it doesn't matter. Business is business, and this will help any school. Okay, so specifically, what are we going to talk about and what does Edge do for you? Well, number one, we're going to keep your marketing plan 3 months ahead. In our schools, we like to make sure our marketing is planned in advance so we don't miss out on different things that pop up during the year. For example, summer camps, Mother's Day, Father's Day, holiday sales, back to school time. There's so many things that pop up that sometimes they get here before you know it, and we've missed the opportunity to market for those specific events. So this will all have your marketing plan 3 months ahead for you so you don't miss out on those opportunities and keep you organized. It also is going to maximize recruiting, getting new students, and your retention. We're going to show you how this site will help you get new students and keep the students that you get. Also, this keeps your staff in the loop. Now, whether you have staff on payroll or you have volunteers that come in and help you assist in classes, in order to be successful, it's a team effort. So we need to make sure that everyone in our school is on the same page if they have contact with our customers. Everything from how to answer a phone to how to talk to someone when they walk in your door to how to teach classes. This website is going to help keep your staff in the loop, and I'll go into that in a little bit more. It also offers a look inside of Championship Martial Arts. So what I mean by that is we actually film some of our staff meetings, which I'll talk a little bit about, and you can actually watch a staff meeting that we do with our own people, and you're going to see exactly the systems and stuff that we use to be successful. This site is not just going to tell you about events to do. For example, you might go to a seminar and hear somebody how they get 20 new enrollments just from doing birthday parties or buddy events at their school. And you sit there in the audience and you probably think to yourself, well, I do birthday parties and I don't get anyone to enroll, or I do buddy events and I don't get anyone to enroll. That's because everyone just tells you, for the most part, what they do, but not how they do. Well, this site is going to show you exactly, for example, how to run a birthday party, all the flyers that you need to use. We filmed an actual live birthday party and broke it into segments, so we show you exactly how to do it. Again, it's because this is what we use to make sure that we're successful. So let's start off by talking about how this keeps you 3 months in advance, okay? When you log onto the site, you would enter your login name, your username, and your password. Now, once you log into the site, you're going to come to this main page. These are your main icons here. Now, what I'm hitting here is I'm hitting under Success, Planning for the Month. When I hit Planning for the Month, here's an example of how it looks. It has all your planning for May, planning for June, planning for July. Now, these little icons underneath, you see a little video box there. That video box is there because we talked about it. It's about a 15 to 18-minute long video about everything that we are going to be doing in May, okay? And underneath that box are links to your downloads for your flyers, okay? Now, these are proven methods for marketing, management, and retention. These are things that we have done that we know work. This is in theory. So, for example, underneath, like I said, these are all the different flyers. Now, if you play the video once you log on, this is just the introduction for May, and this video is going to show you just a glimpse of all the different flyers that we're using this month. Now, do you have to use every single flyer? Absolutely not, okay? You can choose the events and choose the ads that you want to use that month, and this is Mr. Michael Smith, one of our managing members, staff members here at our school, and basically he's going to talk about May and everything that we have going on in May so you guys understand why we're doing what we're doing. Now, we have an archive of all previous materials. If something works, don't change it. Everybody a lot of times wants the newest ad. Well, if you've been running an ad and it's been pulling members, don't change it. So what I'm clicking here now is I'm clicking an icon that says School Tools. Once I click School Tools, there's a little drop box here. Now, this drop box has all these different categories that you can choose. Okay, so right now, what I'm doing is I'm scrolling down to Management Tools. Okay, so let me go down to Management Tools. We click Management Tools. Now another little drop box pops up, and right at the top it says Planning for the Month. If I click that and hit Apply, this is going to give you all the previous archived materials for planning for the month all the way back to 2010 when we started this. So for example, if you did something that worked for you, or you had a phenomenal month, let's say you had a phenomenal October, for example, and you wanted to see what did I do in October that made my school so successful, you would just click on October. The video is here for you. Here's all your downloads at the bottom, and you'd be able to see exactly what you did in October and what ads you used to make your October so successful. So very important that you don't always need, the next best flyer. If something worked for you, keep using it. Now, let's talk about how this is going to help maximize your recruiting and your retention, okay? Well, our first point of contact for the most part in our schools is that telephone. And people need to know how to answer the phone. There is a right way and a wrong way. So again, I come to the main page. I would click School Tools right on the front page. I'm going to go to my little drop-down box. I'm going to scroll down and go to Phone Tools. I hit Apply. When we do that, you'll see it says Phone Script here. I click that. Now, instead of just giving you a phone script that you got to train somebody on, what we did was we actually filmed one of our team members doing a phone call and answering the phone so you can see how the personality is supposed to come through on the phone. And then here's your download. Here's your phone sheet that you can keep near your phone. And for training purposes, when you watch that video, you can just follow along on that phone script so yourself or your staff members can be trained. This is what I mean by making sure that any helpers that you have, if you don't have time to train them because they come in after school and they're helping you with classes, they can go home, log in. You can tell them, make sure they watch the phone script video and learn how to answer phones properly, and they'll be trained and be able to help you. Now, once you get a phone call down, once you can get people to come in, you have to know how to do a good intro, okay? And I know a lot of people probably just throw people into class, but again, I went to School Tools. Again, School Tools is a main hub. So I go to School Tools. I have my drop-down box. All I hit was enrollments and upgrades. I'm going to scroll down, okay? And then here is the perfect intro. It's part 1 and part 2, and this is me actually giving a staff meeting to some of my team members that their stats weren't good enough. We had to do better intros. So this is me talking about everything that you need to make sure that you cover and you do to ensure that you have the perfect intro. And then at the bottom, as you can see, there's a little download here, and this is a new student questionnaire that you should be giving out to all of your prospects when they come in for their intro. Now, I know you're probably noticing all the championship martial arts logos on everything, but we have every flyer in here, and everything here has a version with our logo, so our people can use it, and has a version without our logo, and a place so you can put your own logo on your stuff, and your address and your phone number and everything to make it your own, okay? Now, once you have the perfect intro, well, then you got to know how to do an enrollment, okay? And again, everybody does an enrollment, but not everybody does it correctly. So again, I would go to School Tools. I use my drop-down box. I hit Enrollment Upgrades. I hit Apply, okay? Now what it's going to do, it's going to bring down a list of all the different things for enrollments and upgrades. And if you see right here at the bottom, it says Enrollment Conference. So you would click Enrollment Conference, and this is actually myself going through an enrollment conference. And then underneath there, I have some different price objections, because I always hear when I consult people, well, what if somebody says it's too much money? What do I say? I gave some different examples of how to overcome the price objection. But instead of just me typing out a script and sending it to everybody, you really need to watch the video and see how I overcome and how I do an enrollment. So it's right here at your fingertips. It's all here for you, okay? Now, that's how to get new students in. And again, that's just a couple things to show you. There's many, many more things in this site that'll help you with getting new students. But let's talk about retention. Well, you always hear about successful schools talking about retention, talking about their good job notes and postcards they send out to their students. But the bottom line is retention starts with your floor. So right under success here, we would hit adult drills. That's an icon right there. And then here is an archive of all different adult drills. And every month we add a new adult drill. So these are drills that you can do with your adults to make them more exciting, make the classes more fun, whether they're kids or adults. But again, this example here are adults. You would hit the video, and then here's an introduction on the adult drill of the month. Okay? And then once we get through this little introduction, there's some clips of some different adult drills that we've done. One of our instructors goes into this specific drill. Again, this is great for any of your assistant instructors or any of your instructors or even yourself, just to see if there's a drill here that you like, okay? Now, we did the same thing for children drills. And again, I won't go into it, but right under this success area, you'll see Child Drill of the Month. You would click that. It gives you a whole archive of different drills you can do in your classroom for your kids to make sure that your classes, again, stay fun and stay exciting. Now, let's talk about recruiting events, okay? So what I'm clicking here is marketing audio and video tutorials, okay? That's right from the front page. And you can see there's a couple pages here of different events. So this specific event is something that is very, very powerful to get new students in your door, and it's our off-site booths. This is where you would go to a fair or go to a school and set up a booth. Now, as you can see on the video, this is Mr. Frank Silverman talking about some key things you need to understand when running a booth off-site. Now, if I was to let that play, we actually cut to, and this is a postcard, by the way, of a postcard that we use at our booth that we hand out. But if I let that video play, it would actually cut to a live event where one of our instructors were running a booth. Again, so you don't just hear the theory, you can see it. You can see exactly what we did to maximize our recruiting events and our off-site booth. So you get to watch it in action and see how it goes, and Mr. Silverman actually narrates over that video. Now, let's talk about, once you have all this information, how can we make sure that we keep all your team members and everyone in the loop? Well, on this site, we also have a customizable calendar. So from this main page, we would scroll down, and under Edit here, it says My Staff Calendar. This is where you can go in, and let's click the calendar. Here's a blank calendar. Now, there's an Add button here. all you do is hit add because you're going to want to add whatever it is that you want to add. When you click that, you have some fields. Well, you would put in your title. Is this a birthday party coming up this Saturday? Do you want them to get flyers out this week? Now, here's a drop-down box with frequency. So, for example, if you wanted to get flyers out, you put it on your calendar, frequency might be 3 times a week because you want them doing flyers 3 times a week. But we took this a step further. So if your team members come in and they log in and they look at the calendar, they can see any notes or any events that you have coming up. But any calendar can do that. So we took this a step further, and we have a smart calendar feature. So what that means is anything that you put in here, let's say you have a parents' night out coming up this Friday, or you scheduled it and you put it on your calendar, or flyers. Well, what you're looking at here with all these drop-down boxes are all the different categories that we have, from classroom tools, enrollment upgrades, any external marketing, any management tools like flyering, anything. So what that means is, for example, if you said there's a birthday party this Saturday and you put it in, you would go to events right here on these drop-down boxes, and you would click birthday party. And what that's going to do is when your staff looks at your calendar and they click birthday party, they're going to have all the video tutorials, all the flyers are going to be connected to that. They're going to have Mr. Silverman and talk about exactly what they need to be doing to make sure their birthday party is successful. So it links up to make sure that we're getting the quality and that your team is doing exactly what they should be doing to maximize results. Now, as I said, you're getting a look inside of Championship Martial Arts. I sit up in a corporate office, so I'm not actually in my schools. And even if I was, I couldn't be in all 9 schools at once. So this site, this tool, is the same exact thing that our team is using, and you're getting to see exactly what we do, okay? So it's a look inside, all right? Now, one of the things that people fly in from all over the country to our schools is they always ask, can we sit in on a staff meeting? And as I said earlier, absolutely. So, for example, this video clip is the latest one. This is a look at one of our team meetings that we did on May 23rd. From the main page, I would just click on Management Audio Video Tutorials. Here's the team meeting from May 23rd. It's a 2-part meeting. If you wanted to watch it or have your team watch it, or if you and your team wanted to watch it, you take notes. You sit back, take notes, because actually in this particular meeting, if you were to listen to this, we actually had a guest that was in town, and he was sitting in the audience here with our other 25 team members that are here. So you're going to actually be able to see me and go through a team meeting and be part of it, basically, and take your own notes. So you get access and see exactly what we do. Now, let's talk about what I said earlier as far as we don't just tell you to do a birthday party, do a buddy event. We take you through it and tell you how to plan it from A to Z to make sure that you're doing it correctly, okay? So from the main page here, again, I would go to School Tools. School Tools is like anything you need, you can find through School Tools with these, all these different categories, okay? So with these, as you can see, there's all different categories of what specifically you're looking for. Well, in this case, we're talking about planning an event. So I would go down to revenue events, okay? Now, there's different types of revenue events. Revenue events are events that you would hold in your school to bring in some extra revenue or income. But do you want to talk about camps? Because if you run a camp, that's a revenue event. Do you want to talk about seasonal events? Maybe it's a Halloween party or something, then I would click seasonal events. But if you're just looking for something to do in your school, you would hit general events. And a general event is just something you can do anytime. It doesn't matter what time of the year. And there's pages of different events that you can choose from. As you can see from the bottom, there's pages and pages. And you can see a little clip of the flyer that we have here. So basically what you would do is just find the event that you like, okay, in this case, to generate extra income or revenue in your school, okay? Now, you get access to all the materials. So once you find an event that you like, okay, for example, let's say you like the Ninja Dodgeball Night. So here's Ninja Dodgeball Night. We would click on that. Now, here is a video to talk about Ninja Dodgeball Night, but then on the right side, you'll see here's the downloads. We have an 8.5 by 11, 2 up, 4 up, and 11 by 17 poster size. Now, the top ones are the CMA downloads. So obviously, unless you're a CMA school, you wouldn't hit those. Right under that, it says Edge downloads. And here is where you would click, whether you want postcards, half sheets, an 11 by 17, an 8.5 by 11, you pick it. Here's a little preview underneath of what the actual flyer looks like. Now this particular preview flyer has the CMA logo on it, but if you were to click an Edge download, it would not have any logo on it. You would be able to put your own logo. So again, you have access to all the materials that you need to promote your event properly, not to mention the video to go along with it. Okay? So, and as I was saying, this is about learning all the details. So again, on the Ninja Dodgeball Night, if you wanted to learn the details of the event, then obviously you would just go and you would click the video, and if you wanted to see the flyer, you can click any flyer, it pulls it up, watch the video, it's going to tell you everything you need to know to make sure you have a successful dodgeball night. Now here's the thing, why is there more to it than just running a dodgeball night? Because when you run an event, my objective is not just to get 20 kids paying $20 and make $400. My objective is to get 20 students, those students to bring friends, run the event in a certain way to where I can get new students from it, not just revenue from it. So there's the video, and you can learn all the details. Now, again, what will Edge do for you? Let's recap. It's going to help you get new students and retain students. And again, we only hit a few examples today. It's going to keep your team or your staff in the loop as far as making sure everyone's on the same page. There shouldn't be 10 different ways to answer a phone call, take an appointment. There should be one way, and this is to make sure. Same thing doing drills in your classes, greeting people at the door. Everything should be a system. That's the key, and that's what this is. It's a system. You're getting a look inside of Championship Martial Arts. Well, why do you care? Well, because Championship Martial Arts is one of the most successful school chains in the world. And it's not by accident. It's because of trial and error, and we're going to save you that time of making all the mistakes that we've made. We've put it into systems. You get a look inside, and it's also going to help you plan your events from A to Z. Now what I'd like to do is open up questions on anything that we've covered, or if there's any questions even on things that we haven't covered, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts or get some of your questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Metzger. The first question we've received comes from someone who asks, is this website complicated to use? And if I do use it, is there any support in case I have problems or questions?
Okay, great question. Number one, there's so much material, but we've made it very simple to use. As you saw, we have all those icons, and we know for example, on that main page, the 6 most important icons are right there. Your management, your marketing, your adult drills, your child drills, very, very, very simple, very simple. However, yes, we want to make sure that people are successful, and I put my money where my mouth is. There is support. You can either call MAIA directly, or you can call me, and you can call MAIA, get my cell phone number, and I'll even help you and walk you through the site if you had questions or wanted to know how to do certain things on that site. Absolutely.
So is it possible for me to customize the flyers and the other marketing materials with my school's information and even my logo?
Yes, as I said earlier, you see some of the preview flyers with our logo on it, but all of the Edge flyers do not have our logo on it. You're able to put your own logo, your own address, phone number, your website on any of the flyers, make them your own. All you got to do is print and get them out. We've done all the hard stuff for you.
So is there some kind of special software that I would need to run this program and use the materials for my school?
No, there's no, I mean, any new computer is going to be able to allow you to just edit this. When you download these flyers, it's basically a blinking cursor, and you just have to type in your information. Very, very, very simple to use. It's the same stuff. It's the same way that MAIA has been using with their flyers for the last few years, as far as allowing you to edit fields. So any newer computer can do it. And if for some reason you have an issue or a problem, you can call us directly. We have a full-time staff member, team member. Actually, it's Michael Smith, who you saw in the videos, this is his job, making sure this site is working properly and giving people everything they need. If you ever have a problem with your system, your computer, or you're having issues, he'll take your call and walk you through that as well.
So if I wanted to print some of these items, some of the flyers maybe to promote my school, how would I do that?
Well, you can either print them in-house where you're at, or when you download the flyer, it's best, what I used to do in the past is just send the email over to Kinko's or Office Max, and tell them how many flyers I wanted, whether you wanted them in color or not. Plus, they'll actually cut them for you as well, depending on how many flyers you needed. For example, if an elementary school said, hey, allowed you to get out flyers to all 700 of their students, and you only wanted to do postcard size, I'd email it to Office Max, and I would tell them how many copies I needed, and I'd ask them to cut them for me, and then you would just go and pick them up. That's the easiest way to do it.
So if I wanted to use this site, how much time would it take me to use it effectively?
Well, this is a system, and effectively, what I would recommend is, first of all, it depends on how much you want to get out. One of the things I didn't bring up on this site is there's also, and it's right one of the main icons, right at the front page, and under the six main icons, and it's a daily task calendar. It says CMA Day Planner. That's going to allow you to get a look at what our schools do every single day. So, for example, if you were to click that, a calendar would pop up, and on Monday, it would show you exactly what you should be doing every Monday morning, what you should be doing every Tuesday morning, every Wednesday morning. But besides just telling you, there's a video link to every one of those. So even if once you got through this site, I think the first time you go through this, you probably spend half hour, 45 minutes looking at all the different materials on here, everything that there is to offer. But then once that's done, I think that if you check this site out 5-10 minutes every morning just to see if there was anything updated, is there any new videos up there, is there any new flyers, is there any bonus videos? A lot of times, for example, we're in June right now, and if there was a bonus, something that I just came up with or thought about that we've done in one of our schools, I would get it up there and we would call it a bonus video for June and get the flyers up. So I think you make it part of your system, especially if you're using your calendar. I think you should train yourself and all your staff to use that calendar and check the calendar first thing every day they come in. And the daily tasks. What should I be doing today? What is it that Championship Martial Arts is doing that's making them so successful that I'm not doing? That's why you should get on it every day, and it could take you 5-10 minutes. Now, every month, we have the planning video for the month, which, again, could be 18 to 20 minutes. So you should watch that. You should take some notes, then download any of the materials that you want. So every month, it might take a little longer, but you will get maximum, this will work for you totally and help you with your school if you just put a maximum of 5 to 10 minutes a day into this.
Great. We have a couple of more questions. How does EDGE differ from MAIA's Success Kit?
Well, they actually go hand in hand very well. The Success Kit gives you a lot of great materials, a lot of great ideas. They have some DVDs and when you access online, some great video content as well. EDGE takes that sometimes a little step further with more explanations. And as far as live action, for example, I've done a lot of videos for the Success Kit as well about birthday parties and how to run different events, and I can talk about it. What EDGE will do is actually show you a birthday party live, so you can actually see it in action. Everything that you learn from your Success Kit and all the ideas that you get, you'll be able to see most of those things right on the site with the EDGE. So it's like a marriage. They go hand in hand. EDGE shows you all the theory that you're learning in action.
Okay, we have time for one last question, but before we do ask it, I wanted to let you know if you have asked a question and we haven't been able to answer it during this webinar, we will be contacting you directly to answer it. So, Mr. Metzger, our final question is, what's the cost of EDGE membership?
Okay, well, the cost and what we're actually going to do is I'm going to jump to this next slide here. We want to give a 30-day challenge and let people try this risk-free. If I'm not telling the truth or if this site's not everything that I say it is, well, then obviously you're going to, not continue after 30 days. But we believe this will make, we know, I don't believe, we know, because again, this was built for our own school. This will make a positive difference in your school, and if you're not sure after 30 days, cancel and we'll refund your membership fee. It's $199 a month, okay, to use the EDGE, and you're not tied down to any long term. So even if you did it for 2 months or 3 months, you can cancel at any time. But again, for $199 per month, you're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars and 20 years of knowledge that's being updated, as I said, daily. So you're always going to have new content up here. Always, always, always. It's constantly coming up. So it's $199 a month, but if you call MAIA, and the number is on the screen here, 866-626-6226, and you were part of this webinar, and you call them today or within 24 hours from right now and just say, I want to try it risk-free, you can try it risk-free. Get on there, try it out. If you're not happy, if you don't think it's going to help you, you can cancel it. But one thing that I do want to do, because here's the next biggest problem I see with our industry. We get success kits in the mail. We go to seminars. We take pages of notes. You guys are going to jump on this website and try this out risk-free and give it a whirl. But you got to take action. Don't sign up for the Edge and never log on. So you got to log on. We can see who uses it. We can see what pages are being used. Do yourself a favor. If you try it risk-free, use the website. Okay? You got to get on there at least 2 or 3 times a week. Okay? And check out some of the planning videos. Check out some of the revenue events. There's a virtual section on here, a virtual school, so you can see how a school is laid out. And it just depends on how you learn. It's a different way of navigating to some of the different things. Use some of the drills on here. Take a look. This will help your school grow. Everybody on here should absolutely, you already spent 40 minutes or whatever it is with me on the phone. Why not try it risk-free and see? And if you guys have a question or if you're not sure on how this is helping you, you call me, call MAIA, they'll get in touch with me, and I will call you direct, and we'll have a conversation, and I'll elaborate more and answer any questions that you have. So it's $199 a month, but you get to try it 30 days risk-free, but you got to call MAIA within 24 hours. Now, what am I doing? That's a sales technique. Call now. That's creating urgency, just like you would learn if you use the Edge on how to enroll students and how to convert students. So I'm not hiding anything from you, but I do want to create some urgency and get you to call because I'm not in control of the special, but MAIA says if you've been on the webinar, you got 24 hours to call if you want to try it 30 days risk-free. All it's going to take is probably another 5 minutes of your time to make the call and just get on and start using it. So there's the special that we're doing right now for you to try Edge.
Once again, we'd really like to thank everyone for joining us today, and especially like to thank Mr. Metzger for that informative presentation. And as a reminder, you can try Edge risk-free for 30 days. To take the Edge 30-day challenge, just give us a call at 866-626-6226, and one of our Black Belt account managers would be more than happy to help you. Again, thanks so much, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.